Good afternoon from the home of Hell Track, Northwest Calgary, Alberta. Pantera, you done lost your mind today. I'd like to preface this video with an apology for the completely unorthodox and sideways manner in which I have decided to apply this decal. It seems that applying the top tube decal tends to be one of the trickier things out there. You could do all kinds of stuff, and I've done it myself. You screw the sticker up at the end. So I'm going to tell you why I did, what I did, and the method I used. First things first, we're going to go with that red tape there. Yep, I started at the top dead center and went all the way to top dead center. It's pretty easy to do. I mean, if you came off by 1/2 mil on the ends, you wouldn't know it in the middle. You just wouldn't. I tried to be as exact as possible. Then we're going to move on to the green tape. The green tape helps me find the center, but how do you know what the center is? The pad always sits on the brake guide, or just past it. I shuffled it back 1 centimeter to get it a better center on the bar, just a little bit. Now the reason I keep the pad on there, not just for spacing, is when I stand directly over it with the masking tape, I apply it and I don't even have to try to get it almost perfect right at the bottom on both sides. And that's why I've done that. The pad is exactly 1 foot. And you go down, and of course it's going to be the same thing, 1 foot. So I go to the 6-inch mark on the down there, and I make my mark. Just like that. Then, pretty much, for these decals, that part of the B is the dead center of the decal. And as I remove the tape, we're going to see how close I am. I believe I'm going to be off by a hair on both sides being perfectly even, but we're going to see. Again, I apply it on that side, and I apply it the same on that side right there. And that's how it's done. And I'd like to thank for the era BMX, because I'm from Rad City. Keep saying the home with Hell Track. So I don't want to make my new bike look like an old bike because I think that's kind of cheesy. But I think when you take cues, like there was never a black and white decal like this available for those bikes as far as I know. And the head tube always had a blue background, the decal. So I just made it a little different. And of course I had to go with the Pro Performer bars, But anyways, the bike's dirty and it's not perfect, but we're just gonna remove all this tape and we're gonna see how it goes. I'm sorry if the camera makes you sick jumping around and shit. I'm not, oh, I cussed. Now the kids can't watch it because there's swearing in it. See, there we go. There's that there. Throw that in my fire pit. And then biggity bam, we will remove that. And if you look at I got it pretty dang close on both sides. I really did. Not bad. So that's how I applied my decal. And of course, this being a very small decal, I was able to use a pretty wide tape. But I prefer to use a very, very thin masking tape for like pinstriping and stuff. That's maybe about 1 centimeter wide at most. And I do the same thing that I've done with the red electrician's tape, and I run it along the top. And I'll do the same thing. I'll use that same tape and run it down the sides, but I just worked with what I could. And I'm lucky I had a small decal, because I really didn't like the Brian Kachinsky decals on this. I'm sure he does, but this here's my bike. And I really thought that was going to be perfect for me. I didn't want nothing too flashy. And I'll make another video with the young girl cleaned up. And yeah, I'm really loving these 9.125 bars. I mastered my favorite 3 spots closest to my house in sessions. The day I put these bars on, they feel so perfect. And again, I know it's not an S&M or some crazy expensive bike, but I mean, the geometry of this bike fits me perfectly. And now, I'm gonna have, I think this afternoon, the fork decals are gonna come as well. I ordered them the same time everything came. The bars came a couple days ago. My Evo 2.5 brakes are coming. But my next video, I'll have the fork decals and probably the brakes on there, and it'll all be fixed up. But that's my 2021 Brian Kachinsky team signature. And I mean, if y'all watch this, I appreciate it. I mean, I had a lot of bikes from a long time, and I would have really started a YouTube channel a long time ago. It would have been smart, because I would have had a lot more really cool bikes on my channel. But I got what I got. I didn't think about it, but I'm never going to miss those opportunities, even if it's something that's not all that interesting. You know, maybe a few years from now, some kid finds one of these bikes and wants to fix it up. And, you know, I've built my GT Performer and my wife's dyno. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I took a lot of inspiration from a lot of guys out there, like Rad BMX Builds and Cruising in the 808 and White Welly BMX and a whole bunch of fellas like that. I mean, there's a lot of great BMX build channels on there. So, I mean, I'm just some old poser with, you know, 5 bikes, but either way, to the home of Hell Track, right here on Northwest Calgary, Alberta. Y'all stay rad.